You don't realize this, but blame is a better vibration than anger. So it's not that we want to stay stuck in blame. Blame is not where we want to wind up. That's not the goal. That's not the end game. Big show today, guys.
Happy to be with you.
Gabrielle Bernstein, a role model for a new generation of spiritual seekers.
Now, let's start today with a card. I'm looking at all three of my decks, Spirit Junkie, Universe, Super Attractor, and I'm pulling from the Super Attractor deck, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. My 2.5-year-old son has mixed these decks up so much that I literally might not even know which one I'm pulling from at this point, but they're all doing the same thing, which is, if you can hear me shuffling right now, they're all giving us a message. And so it doesn't matter which deck it's from. I think it's from Super Attractor, could be from the Universe Has Your Back. Oliver mixed them all up because he likes to throw all the cards around. Let's see what today's message is. When I'm connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. Couldn't think of a more high vibe message than that. When I am connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. Whoa, beautiful card to begin our show with. Really what this means to me is that we're always able to lean into two different energies, which is a topic we've spoken about often here on the show. But when people say, oh, I want to get myself into attracting power, I want to manifest more into my life, they often think that it's something that they need to do. Like, I need to make a vision board, or I need to talk about it a lot, or I need to affirm how I want to feel, or I need to do. I need to meditate more. I need to read that book. When really the simplicity is that it's not so much about what we do, but it's about how we feel. When we feel good, we attract more good into our life. That is a core through line of this show, Dear Gabby. It comes up over and over and over again. And this card, as it says, when I'm connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. For me, listen, I try to find even the most difficult circumstances as an opportunity to lean into something that's a better feeling vibration. So sometimes you may be thinking, well, how could I lean into joy when I'm dealing with a diagnosis, or when I have just lost my job, or when I am having struggles in my marriage, or whatever the problem might be. This is when we really have to get to work. Those moments when things are difficult and there isn't joy in sight, that's when we have to do our best to lean into the next best feeling vibration. And I want to pull out this beautiful lesson from my book, Super Attractor. I've got the book right here. Hang on. And it's all about the emotional guidance scale. And it's going to just take me 1 second to find it. Gabby, you can find it. Here I am scrolling through my book. And this is a lesson from Abraham Hicks, which are some of the best teachers of the law of attraction. And the concept from the emotional guidance scale is that you don't have to move from despair to joy overnight or in an instant, but the goal is to reach for the next best feeling vibration. And when we lean into the next best feeling vibration, even if it seems like a low vibe, but it's a better vibe than the last vibration, we're moving up this emotional scale, and that emotional scale is in fact guiding us to feel better and better and better and better. And we reach and we reach and we reach and we reach. So I'm going to read the scale to you. I'll break it down in the show notes. We'll put a link to this. I have a blog about this. We'll put a link to it in the show notes. And here's the Abraham Hicks emotional guidance scale. So it starts off at the bottom here at 22 with fear and grief and desperation, despair, powerlessness. 21 is insecurity, guilt, and unworthiness. 20 goes up to jealousy. 19 is hate and rage. And it goes up and up and up all the way to number 1, which is joy, appreciation, empowered, freedom, and love. So it keeps reaching up and up. But here's an example of how you would use the scale. Let's say you're in anger and you decide to start blaming somebody else for why you're angry. You don't realize this, but blame is a better vibration than anger. So it's not that we want to stay stuck in blame. Blame is not where we want to wind up. That's not the goal. That's not the end game. Joy is the end game, just like in our card. But moving from anger, which is number 17 on the scale, to a place of blame, which is number 15 on the scale, puts you into a better feeling vibration. And think about it. You do start feeling better when you just start blaming everybody else. It's not where we want to stay. Remember, it's not where we want to stay, but it's a better feeling vibe. And so moving from anger to blame is pretty groovy. That may sound weird to some of you who think you always have to feel happy to be a manifester. That's not true. We're moving up the scale towards joy. Then when you're in blame and you move all the way up, let's say to boredom. Let's say you're in blame and then later in the day you're bored. That's actually moving from number 15 all the way to number 8. 8 is boredom. You could even move from blame to worry. So let's say you're blaming everybody else, and then you start worrying about the situation. Worry is actually number 14. So you're still moving up the scale. So I'm going to send you this scale so you can start to reference it when you're in a low vibration. And remember that it's okay to move up to another vibration that may not seem like it's high vibe, but it's a better vibration. It's a better energy. It's a better feeling than the one you were at before. And the simplicity here is that you're not going to move from fear and grief and desperation to joy, but you can move up that emotional guidance scale. Every step of the way, you feel a little bit better. And the better and better and better you feel, the closer you get to joy. And our card today, when I'm connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. So every time we move ourselves naturally up that scale, moving into a different vibration and a different emotion, we start to get closer to hopefulness and optimism and positivity and enthusiasm, passion, and then we get to number 1, which is joy. I hope you're enjoying this show, and if you want to get more Gabby, you can click the link below, subscribe to my Dear Gabby podcast on Apple, be the first to know when the episodes drop because they come out 1 week before the video. And you can download it to your phone, listen to it while you're driving, while you're cooking, while you're working out. You can just get more Gabby wherever you are. And if you feel called, leave a review. I'd love to hear from you. Now let's get back to this episode. This is actually on page 66 of Super Attractor. It's the chapter called Have Fun Along the Way, chapter 4. If you're a Super Attractor reader and you want to reference the emotional guidance scale, what we'll do is put a link to Super Attractor in the show notes, or you can just go to Amazon and grab your copy of Super Attractor, and that book can give you the full breakdown of how to use the emotional guidance scale if this is something that you resonate with. I'm so psyched that this came up because I'm imagining it's something I can use today as I Dear Gabby our guests that come on through. So yeah, it's really about reaching for the next. Somebody's mentioning that it's looking for the next best feeling thought. That's exactly right. Chapter 4, Super Attractor, reach for the next best feeling thought, have fun along the way. This is an Abraham Hicks method that has been so heart-opening for me because it allowed me to accept I don't have to be in joy all the time, but I can consistently be reaching for a better vibration. A better vibration, a better vibration, a better vibration. Here's a silly example. It's not that silly. I had to take a friend yesterday to get blood work because he hates to get blood work, and he actually has the, I don't remember what you call it, the vagus response. I'm saying it completely wrong, but he passes out when he gets blood work. And so the nurse kept kind of joking with him, and I was there, and he went from despair, like I can't be in here, to kind of like just jokey laughter. Let me think what that could have been. It could have been a little bit more of a vibration of, let's see, it was kind of he went from like despair to kind of a hopefulness. He jumped because there they were kind of joking around with him, and he got through this thing that normally is so difficult for him with such ease because he was in a different vibration. He wasn't in joy. He wasn't happy getting his blood taken, but he was in a better vibration than he was when he walked in the door, just because the nurse was so jovial and so heart opening and warm and real true angel in disguise. So I really want to emphasize for all of you that you have the power to get through situations that otherwise would baffle you and make you feel completely uncomfortable. And you can move up this scale and get through them with more grace when you just welcome a different vibration. If you like this video and you want to get more Gabby, check out the next one right over here.